I wish it would stop talking about Crunchyroll. My Twitch is like, hey, Crunchyroll, isn't it great? Look at me. No, I can't do that. I've been meaning to play Kaito. Probably isn't even. I've beaten the Kaito Ultimate before. Just doesn't even feel really that great. You know what I haven't played in a while is actually did I ever play this? Why does this have to be complicated? It was 2 years ago. Wow. Well, a lot has changed in 2 years. I don't know if I want to play it though. Maybe I should. Why not? I can't think of what to play, so screw it. 2 years is good for me. There's been a lot of new cards, that's for sure. Are these really Magic cards? I hope so. It depends who you ask. Gives me an excuse to play this new shiny new mountain. Wait, did I play? Wait, what? Which one? Yeah, I just got the mountain. That's what I got. It was the mountain. I don't think we're a set creature type. That would seem... Yeah, that seems unlikely. Actually, kind of like Alcatraz. Valgavoth is interesting. The alligator puts itself in the graveyard, which is a big plus for me. Vein Ripper is probably just very scary and problematic for most players. Who knows? I mean, even the Inferno Titan is... I don't know. His damage is just raw, unhasting. Maybe. Do we like these two? I don't think so. Hornet Queen doesn't feel necessary. Crucius discards. I don't know if Croxa makes sense. I don't want to exile my own stuff. But it is something to do. It's not like I have to exile my stuff. This sacrifices, right? So that works with the commander. Sire of Seven Deaths is potentially incredibly annoying. Ygra lets you sack your own stuff as well. I don't know how likely we are to exile stuff. Doesn't feel super likely. What are the evolution cards called? Oh wow, I don't own Eldritch Evolution? No way. What is... We go from 4 to 6 with the commander? 4 to 6. 4 to 6. Yes. Anything that sacrifices repeatedly? So enchantments and I guess artifacts, like there's also the land that does it. Tower. We're playing some fungus. Grave Pack seems unnecessary. Goblin Bombardment. Fable. Oh yeah, what's this do? It would go to... It would go to 4? Okay, that's actually not really... That actually really doesn't do much at all. X or less. Alright, so it can be 4 or less. It doesn't have to be 4 exactly. I actually don't like this. I don't have to sack my commander, though. I can sack other things. Oof. Should specify creature, actually. It's like Ashnod's Altar. Altar of Dementia is probably really good, yeah. I don't know, what am I doing with that much colorless? Oh, nothing bad. Okay. There's Faithless Looting. There's something in my throat, I think. What's the sack tutor? Oop. What's it called? Dang it. I don't like village rights. Oh, diabolic intent. I was thinking demonic intent for some reason. I didn't look at like big rare creatures. I only looked at the big mythic ones. I see this one a lot played in Slimefoot. With a bunch of fungus, it's pretty reasonable to do that. Yeah. I love Runescarred Demon. Can't forget about Atali. Bedlam Reveler probably isn't gonna discount too easily. Is Grenzo good at 3? I feel like Grenzo is still fine. If we are a big mana deck, you can just still... I mean, it doesn't... Yeah, you can still steal busted cards, you just can't cast them for free. But who cares? I can still steal, like, my opponent's Emrakul. Crab Abomination would be in here just because it's funny, but I don't really think it's good. And it's going to disappoint me and upset me, but you know what? It's funny. What filter's on here? Do I want Chrome Mox? It can get rid of a random big creature that I could struggle to use. Or like have no way to discard it. Let's try for now. Yeah, okay. Oop, can't forget Dark Ritual. I'm still kind of not on Gilded Goose anymore. Although we do have a 3-mana commander. Gilded Goose just activating a single time in this kind of deck is probably excellent. I don't really need... And thus, so would Ragavan and Strike It Rich be totally fine. We do mill, so we want the bug, whose name eludes me, Molt Tender. Lightning Bolt probably makes sense. So does Fatal Push, actually. Strike It Rich, probably? That's kind of weird, though. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe we dodged that one for now. Let's not forget Kami and Grazer, because I did the past 3 times, actually. What is escape? Ox is interesting. Nethergoyf is also interesting. I don't know. I mean, I can't say I like it too much, though. Underworld Breach? Nah. Oh, it doesn't even keep loading. The heck is that thing? Ugh, I don't like that. It's perfect. Well, I'm playing Slimefoot and Squee. Maybe. It's hard to say no to Scute Swarm and stuff. Oop. I don't have... Oh, wait, Liliana. She mills. Oh, both Lilianas. Oh, yeah. Okay. Do we want to play bad cards so I always have a Saproling? I kind of don't want to play bad cards. Like, if you lose your commander, it's stuck in the grid. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Not going to do that. What's the... This thing? I think this is reasonable. What about you? This discards as well, right? Yep, that's fine. That is fine with me. Alright, well, I got to 100 rather quickly. I don't know if that's a good sign. Shroofus? Is it a Saproling or is it a fungus? It is a Saproling. Whoa. That'd be great. That would be great. Shroofus. The rest is also reasonable. Mesmeric Orb? I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's definitely better than Crabomination. It sort of does what you want. But it is symmetrical. And I don't like giving my opponent that effect too much. Although, for the most part, it's not a big deal. Sometimes it is, though. Alright, this looks wrong. Corvold? Didn't think of that one. Wait, why would I want that? Corvold's alright. It's alright. I'm not blown away by it. Do I need a bunch of self-mill? Like Stitcher's Supplier? Also, probably Davriel? No, I'm not going to go in that route. Something about this is wrong. Do I have Victimize? Oh, I do! Isn't it like a mythic? Rip. I think we're going to take out the crab. Did I not add the crab? Uh-oh. Wait, what? Did I not add the crab? I must have taken it out immediately, subconsciously. I don't see Crab Abomination in here. Alright, well, rip. I have no recollection of removing it. Absolutely no recollection. I took it out for Mesmericorv? Oh, jeez. It totally wasn't 2 seconds ago or anything. Yikes. Where is my head sometimes? Oh, wait. Okay, it's in here. I don't like... Oh, Nasty End is probably worth it, of all the things. Do we have Grisly Salvage? I gotta be careful with the self-mill, though. There might be too many big things. Okay. For the trillionth time, I just have to take those out. Yeah, Final Parting. We have all the other pieces that work with it that I like, so. What was the other card I was thinking about? Do I have the Heist card? I do. Nasty End. That was it. This is probably fine. 2-mana draw 3 on the commander. I'm a fan of this. The Alchemy card, is it word it with Seek? I think I know what you're talking about, but I also am not sure. This one? Yeah. Probably makes sense. Same with this, maybe. This is pretty solid. It's like the blue... whatever the blue one is that I can't remember the name of. That I always play. Seek New Knowledge. There's also Settle the Wilds. Uh-oh. Alright, well, we're at that point where I'm adding and not removing. Sprout Swarm? If only. I don't like Noxious Revival, that's weird. Red Elemental Blast? What? Ramp spells, ramp spells, ramp spells, ramp spells. More ramp spells. Oh look, another ramp spell. Breach the Multiverse? Are we that kind of deck? Alright, so... seems... I'm just looking at EDH rec. Which, obviously, we don't have all those cards, but... Why am I, like... I think we want Ulamog in here. Yeah, we want Ulamog. I think we're going to skip over the middle section here, like that thing. Even Kroxa, sort of skip over that stuff. And go right into the big and dumb. I gotta make room here. What's Chthonian Nightmare doing? You get 3 energy. Alright. This is not... I can't amass enough energy to ever be convinced I'm getting something good off of it. Crab Abomination? No. We just took it out. No. Please. See, I was thinking about that, but we could circumvent that by just casting ramp spells and casting them out of hand. I don't really like the mill approach. I would prefer to Faithless Looting. So, like, draw discard instead of milling. Because I don't have Stitcher Supplier in here. And stuff like that. I guess... See, the less you interact, the worse things are. Maybe... that's just the kind of deck we are. I don't like not interacting at all. But there's not a lot of interaction in here, to be completely honest. There's no way to make room for everything. It's not like ramp spells, mill spells, big creatures, reanimate spells, tutors, removal spells, mana rocks, like Cavalier. I don't own the Evoke Elementals. I don't... Do I own Fury? No, I don't own Fury. I don't own these. I haven't owned these ever. These are... The only one I really like is Grief. This would probably come in here. There's a good chance I would try to make this one work. I don't care about these two, though. Fury's interesting, but... This is the one I'd want. Don't own it, though. You found your donation incentive. There it is. What's the red Cavalier? Well, shoot. I like both of these. The Black Cavalier is actually kind of interesting. So is the green one, right? Reveal the top 5, put a land, the rest of the graveyard. Oh boy. I do like these. They're pretty unique too. There's not many decks that I feel I'm getting away with running those. The best version is ramping into stuff like Seize the Spoils. No interaction. See, that's what I'm thinking of. That's where my head is going. Like, drop the Fatal Push Lightning Bolt. I do have discard spells. And then just, blitz into big dumb stuff. I don't like Endurance as an answer to decks like this. That wouldn't be the one I play. I would actually play Ghost Vacuum. And maybe even Relic, so you can not, like, lose the game because you force a willed a graveyard and then lost because you have no more resources. Alright, let's try no stuff. I really don't like Birthing Ritual. What is Spawning Pod? Sacrifice a creature. Seek a creature as many as 1+ on the battlefield. Oh yeah, no, that's perfect. That is actually perfect. Can I craft it? I can. Yep. Well, there you go. What's the new hardened scales? Whenever counter is put on a creature, does this do that, or would it just be Corvold? Alright, it's like just Corvold. I'm not sold on that then. Birthing Ritual also doesn't blitz into 6 and 7 drops, so. Alright, Crocs is looking sus. Yeah, definitely looking sus there. Necropotence. No, that one doesn't work. That one doesn't work. Cathartic Reunion is pretty good at setting up stuff. Alright, Gitrog looks isolated. I'm not liking it. No, I don't like a Yawgmoth. I'm not trying to like sack my board. I don't want to sacrifice a Saproling. They have to go to the ability, so I don't like that. Just to sacrifice Slimefoot, that hardly... I'm not interested in trying to sacrifice Slimefoot. I'm pretty convinced it's very easy to have it die when you want it to, outside of sacking it. But I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Yeah, I just don't care about this. I mean, if you're sacking Slimefoot every turn, then you just won the game. You know, that's just you just won. Your opponent's not doing anything to stop it. Then yeah, it doesn't matter how many times they did it. You're clearly just losing. Alright, I want to start with this. I'm going to start here. We're going to start here. So, Slimefoot and Squee makes a 1/1 Sapling when it shows up. And I think when it attacks too, right? Yep, when it swings. And then you sack a Sapling when this is in your graveyard. You don't put it to the command zone. And you reanimate it and something that's hopefully really big and scary. I don't like the self-milling approach. I am running Mesmeric Orb, though. But like Stitcher Supplier and whatnot, I'm not convinced on too much. Like, there's a chance you just milled and got literally nothing. Or it was yeah, I mean, that's just kind of it. You just mill, and then nothing crazy happens from the mill, and I just kind of want to avoid that situation. I think drawing and discarding is a little bit more reliable in terms of putting something in your graveyard. I mean, Mesmeric Orb just passively spams your thing. Same with Altar, so I do like those at least. But it's also hard to put everything in the same deck, like removal, ramp spells, card draw, mill, giant creatures to actually do this, sack outlets to sack your Slimefoot. Like there's, it's kind of hard to put all of that in the same deck. So I think running the best, like the absolute best of each of those things, is probably good enough. I could be wrong though. I'm also not super sold on the targets to reanimate. I think, honestly, Ulamog probably should be in here. And is, I don't know if it's better than this. It probably is. Milling your opponent on the attack trigger is not the most exciting, but it is like a 10/10 indestructible. So, I don't know. For now, we're just gonna try it like this. So let's see what happens. Well, probably not completing that quest. That's for sure. Yeah, the Delirium land. Shifting Wildwood? Can we get Delirium? How many enchantments do I have? I don't think... Oh, jeez, look at this hand, huh? Look at that. If only I would keep this if I had Faithless Looting. But I don't. Yes? Lose the game if we don't find mana? It's kind of my internal philosophy most of the time. Yeah, Tali's in here. Breach the Multiverse could come in here as well. It depends how often I'm getting to 7 and 8 mana and stuff. Okay, well, that was a nice draw, I would say. What does this evolve into that I would ever want to evolve into? Kind of like nothing. I feel like there's no genuine thing to evolve into here, so let's just go ahead and do this. We drew Mox, so we can play this, and life is good. Unless it isn't. Alright, opponent has Roxanne and Elesh Norn, which... a bit annoying. Definitely beatable. Alright, that's a huge draw for dealing with my opponent's stuff. Honestly, they might even concede if I kill this Ornithopter. I think that's worth the attempt. Yeah, I figured. They're just going to concede if I kill it. We got rid of the, what did we get rid of there with the discard spell? Yeah, we got rid of this, and then, yeah, once this is dead, you know, get totally schmeeded. But we could have evolved into a, what is this, 5? Got this in the graveyard, and then Liliana could have plussed away Yalgavoth, and we were going to do that too, so cool. Alright, well, we don't have a ton of interaction, but the interaction we did have won the game. Do nothing until turn 4 Jodah, yep. Alright, so we want red and green. Yep. Turn 2 commander is really good. Especially when it's very annoying to, like, kill Slimefoot because you don't want it to die. Slimefoot is a very scary commander when you leave it alone. It does not need much time. I will always swing. More Saprolings, more Betterer. We swing, yep. I could sack it before they gain a life. Oh, they don't even block? Really? Why not? I don't... Okay. That's an interesting one. I don't hate it. So do I play Nasty End, or do I play this? I think I play this first. Because it just gets rid of this. Yeah, that's fine. Sure, that's hilarious. You get a treasure token when you cast it. I could have got a cheaper spell there, maybe. Oh, we know they just drew this because that was one of the options I had. So we know that they just drew this. That literally dies, so that's a strange attack. I did not expect them to let me kill their commander. That seems utterly insane, but alright. We take that. So, swingies. No, not with that thing, though. I'm going to keep it in the graveyard. I'm going to pay 1. Victimize. Alright, I want to keep the fetch land for Mythweaver Pock. You have a standard brawl ideal for me to help finalize? Well, sure. Alright, what's in my graveyard? Just that. So, Pock is just a huge issue for a lot of decks, so we're taking the time off to just run that stupid thing out. Let's crack one of these now. Actually, I don't want to. I don't want this to draw cards, so... When does... It's only as a sorcery, okay. Your opponent's creatures... Oh, shoot. Okay. Okay. Well, that is pretty good. It's also pretty big. Again with the trade of Sorin. Why? What is the... Why? Why are we doing this? Bruh. I just don't agree, but alright. To each their own. So, we play Forest. We could swing with Pock, it would die, but... I mean, no, that's probably not worth it. Let's play... Again, I don't really like reanimating Grenzo. But maybe I just should. It doesn't require a mana investment. I mean, casting a spell for, like, taxing. I don't know. It's what we're doing, so why not actually try doing it? Well, Swords is very good. This is Ward, discard a card. That's actually kind of beneficial with for us. I said with for us. I'm so funny. Yeah, we can actually discard one of these cards for free, essentially. Okay. This doesn't have lifelink, right? Nope. Gilded Lotus. So, a lot of mana for a Sorin deck. Interesting. Can we get a blowout? No blowout. Alright. Yep, it's free because of Grenzo. Yeah, see, this is just Grenzo being good still. Like, it's just still good. Yeah, Grenzo's just so gross. It doesn't even matter if it's free or not. It's absolutely disgusting. Alright, so swing with the... Actually, swing all out. Alright, there goes that. I thought that was an issue anyways. I can just turn this into lands. I don't see why not. Could have just played it as well. I don't know, I don't have to commit a ton of stuff. Oh, I could have had a bunch of lifelink. Whoops. Chat, I'm dumb. I did a dumb. I'm sorry. Don't yell at me. Alright, surely there's no giant 10-10 haste trample double strike in hand that would make me feel like I regret everything. Alright, so we don't regret anything. Take action. Well, funny enough, they actually did make a 10-10. They actually did make a 10-10. We did miss a ton of life there. Definitely a mistake. They have a creature in their hand, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Oh, they don't. Alright, never mind. Let's play... or cast... shoot. Two counters on a creature. We're gonna cast this. Sack a creature. And... do that. Not the most exciting, but... let's play the lands I know about. Weird Sorin having a Sunfall in it. And Gilded Lotus, also kind of weird. Alright, that was probably the best top deck they could have had. It gets rid of my graveyard, and they get to kill Sorin. That was probably the best thing possible. That was unbelievable. Wow. Kind of nuts. Fortunately, it's not really too difficult to recombobulate. Heliod, also kind of nuts, because I can't kill a 10-10. My opponent is top decking out of this world right now. Do I want Mesmeric Orb on the top and to draw it? I think I do. Opponent is just top decking completely out of this world. Yep, alright. We definitely want Mesmeric Orb here. I don't think swinging with that makes sense. Watch me mill, like... Okay, well, they were going to draw nothing if I didn't play Mesmeric Orb. Alright, we didn't mill any graveyard stuff. Hey, they drew nothing anyways. Look at that. Alright, so the Sorin flips, and we take 12. Which is not lethal. Oh, no, we take 11. So, Atali and I guess Sire of Seven Deaths? That feels not terribly useful, honestly. I don't know. It's the best that's in there, so... Lyra. Lyra does not save me from my opponent top decking a land. Does it? Nope. Oh, I think I'm just always dead. Because the Sire is tapped. Oh, wait. Nope, yep, I'm always dead. Wow. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. My opponent just... They top-decked completely out of this world. Like, that's completely insane. But, alright. It's gonna happen sometimes. I could have had the... I think I could have held the Gix's command and killed the token. Would have won if I did that. Yep, and the Sorin. The Sorin life miss was just huge, so... There were two things I did wrong. What is this? Oh, shoot. Yeah, I'll take that. Yep. Alright. I didn't have a way to put Slimefoot in the graveyard, but opponent was done anyways. Cool. Well, the queue took too long, so it put me against Rusko. Yeah, we just play... Yeah. Oh look, it's Mana Drain chat. Isn't that fun? Are you excited to continue this game? That was fun. I can't wait to see that 2 more times. I like Thoughtseize, but I don't like the rest of it. Ugh. Okay. This thing? Well, I'm not designed to play around Wash Away, so... I can swing. That's unexpected. That's probably not a good idea. They must have some kind of graveyard hate. So, does that change anything? Nah, not really. I was really hoping I would find an untapped land there. That's why I tapped that way. Yikes. I was really banking on an untapped land. Apparently, so was my opponent. They did not find one either. Okay. Okay. So... I can't pay for Esper Sentinel? I just cannot do it. Tragic. So I can sack my Alcatraz and get a... Goes right into play, right? Yeah. It does. Again, not paying for Esper Sentinel, though. That's probably wrong. I don't want my opponent to draw cards here, like in any way. Yeah, I think I'm just not going to let my opponent draw a card. You know what? Maybe I should. It's still... Like, this has to be just so good. I don't know why this would... Why I would not do that. Like, this has to be just really good. It also technically gives me a land, so... If I had a sweeper right now, Vein Ripper would kill my opponent, right? Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, it would absolutely kill my opponent. So, until they deal with Vein Ripper, they actually don't want to... sweep the board. Or I guess I just won't be able to have another turn anyways. Victimize. Nope. So I can swing for 6. Have to probably kill their Tameo. Oh, to swing for 5, actually. Yeah, I have to kill Tameo, no matter what happens here. Again, killing my commander, I think, is unnecessary. I'm not going to unearth that, so... Nothing to victimize. Maybe this can help? Well, it sorta did. I don't believe I'm gonna sack anything to the spawning pod. No, I mean, Vein Ripper is just very scary, so... None of these are very exciting. I'll take the 1 mana card just for the sake of the tap treasure and whatnot. Is Unearth... is that a cast trigger? That's not a cast trigger, right? No, it doesn't trigger Kulain. If I find Goblin Bombardment, are they dead? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. They are dead. Or we, yet again, probably just don't get another turn anyways, because Kulain is dumb. And draws 55 cards. Do we have any good 3s? No, not really. Alright, I'm just bored. This is just boring. Putting me to sleep. I want to actually play the game. I don't care if I can top deck lethal. I'm not. I'm. That's boring. I don't think I'm going to turn one Thoughtseize here. Wow, look at that. Someone who didn't have Esper Sentinel. No way. No way. Yeah, we're doing this. I think I'm gonna Thoughtseize. Oh, okay. Well, they just did the trading for me. Again, this is another game where trying to sack my commander has not been something I've needed to do. Yeah, I'm gonna Thoughtseize. Amps Raptor and Angel Fire Ignition. That card is a problem. I will take at least half of it. Molt Tender does sporadically mill. Opponent wasn't sure if they should cast Feather or not. Fascinating. Actually, what happens when you flash this back? What happens with Flashback and Feather? I actually do not know how that plays. I do not know how that works. So I can cast Pock, get 2 lands. I think we're gonna do that. Those 2 lands being this. Because if not, I discard it. Probably a good idea to play this then, yeah. I don't want to lose it. It takes precedent. Alright, so the Thoughtseize was wrong then. Oh, well, maybe it was right. They didn't cast it. Okay. Alright, Grenzo. I don't know what it looks like, but I'm sure it's there somewhere. Can I cast it whenever I want? Once each turn. Once each turn. Alright. This still doesn't do it. This still doesn't do it, but I'm going to cast it anyways. It gets rid of the Selfless Savior. Or not. Why would it get rid of the Selfless Savior? Why wouldn't my opponent just top deck the best card ever? Of course. Oh, my opponent's my opponent made a huge glaring mistake. Alright, we're back in it. They said green instead of red. That was a massive game ending mistake, I think. If they top deck the land, they can come back into it. That was a massive mistake. Well, that's nuts. Could still die, I guess. None of these are useful. I guess I'll take that, so my opponent can't draw it. So I can sack... This is a legendary land. I can sack my Grenzo and get another Grenzo trigger. Although this is probably... I just always lead with this. Oof, man, the Grizzly Salvage has been a massive letdown. Massive, massive letdown. Alright, so I can only play one of these. I am always playing it here. So I will play it pre-combat. Actually, no. I will not play it pre-combat. I am one power off of just being dead. So full control. I can die here. Actually, there's maybe even a pretty good chance I do. Again, nothing that does anything. Uh-oh. Yep. That's not good. There's nothing I can do. Alright. Maybe I still lose. Of course I do. Why not? My opponent just top decks lethal anyways. Yep. Alright, well, we've been out top decked, and our, like, Grizzly Salvage looking at 5 cards have been terrible, but our opponent's natural top decks have been out of this world today. It's been kind of insane. I've just been completely nullified by obscene top decks. This is probably a good Chrome Mox Dark Ritual thing, I would argue. Yep. I could Dark Ritual Sire, actually. Is that... This discounts it. It's just almost exactly the same. I think this is about the same. I just like the effect of this long term. Slightly more. Alright, silly me. Expecting things to work. Do I mill myself right now? I can't reanimate anything, so I guess there's no reason to, right? I don't have the minutes to reanimate. What does that do? Virus beetles? Okay. Am I gonna swing? Yep, I'll be swinging. I will take this trade, right? Or do I mill myself? Should probably mill myself. Actually, no. I have something that's totally fine to reanimate in my graveyard. So I will do that. It lets me cast Sire of 7 Death soon. As in, literally next turn. Davriel, alright. That's a very strange one. Do you target yourself? No? Really weird to me. I don't get it. Why would you let me discard? That doesn't seem like it makes sense. That's odd. Alright, now we can just block this. Yeah. Well, their reanimate strategy is easier to accomplish, but it just doesn't get anything as scary as what we've got going on, so... Well, that's a typical draw. Yeah, we can just... Yeah, we'll just kill that. They can't block, so... Opponent thought about blocking. This doesn't give trampled, right? No. Overlord or Sire? I'm just going to do Sire. This seems like some kind of aggro deck or something. I don't know. Black-green small value is what it is. But the Overlord would be nice too, but I don't think I need that mana anyways. Yeah, I don't need the mana. Do they have them manually stacked triggers? It looks like they manually stacked the Croxa trigger. Yep, it just doesn't. We're sort of doing the same thing, except I get Sires and you get Shambling Guests. So, rip. Rip. I think I'm going to change Nasty End for Village Rites just because it costs 1. And that probably makes a ton of sense. Yeah. This is great, but like... the fact that this costs 2 can genuinely be a problem. I don't know. This is the best deck for Nasty End. I don't really want to change that. Just because min efficiency, but I would say maybe Village Rites is arguably better. Okay, it's better. Chat, it's better. It's just better. Let's not kid ourselves. Oh no, it changed my Village Rites art. How dare it. So getting to a bajillion mana hasn't felt too crazy as a requirement. I feel like I'm missing some kind of over-the-top spell. Let's Slimefoot and Squee. Wait, what? Ooh, I don't like this at all. I completely disagree with that. This person has a... I'm looking at historic brawl lists, and just... This person's list has, like, nothing to reanimate with Squee. I don't get that. That's weird. Dispute is just better than Rites? You think so? The worst Dark Ritual? Huh? What's Dispute? This one? I would never play this over Village Rites. No, that's... We're just back to Nasty End. I don't want to play this. I want to play Village Rites. It costs 1 mana. I don't like Village Rites. I mean, I don't like Deadly Dispute here at all. Unless I found room for it. But if I found room for it, I probably wouldn't run another one of that effect anyways. I'm still thinking about Ulamog. It's hard to not play Ulamog. Shieldred hasn't done anything. Maybe it's not a Shieldred deck. Yeah, but it still costs 2. Like, I have to spend 2 mana to cast it up front, which is the problem with Nasty End. That the main issue is casting it for 2 minutes. It's not like, you know, there's a bajillion cards that are better than Village Rites, but it costs 1. That's why I like this. If I have just 1 mana sitting there, I want Village Rites. If I cast like a Mana Dork or something, and my opponent kills it, or tries to kill it, I think this has just vastly more utility at 1 mana. Refunding the mana is not the why I'm playing this one instead. Speaking of refunding things, yeah, I want another big creature. Kind of. I want like 1 big creature in 1 thing that we can probably scam somebody with Platinum Angel. Might just be way too late in the lifespan of this format to do that, though. I want this Ulamog to work, but it's hard to do that. Oh, you mean the card sacrifice. The literal card sacrifice. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Combo Slimefoot, that sounds ideal. I don't own Sacrifice. Doesn't it have like the art of a goblin on it or something? Isn't it a mythic? Oh, I do. It's equal to its mana value, right? I don't see what this would do that would make me upset. I feel like this is perfectly okay. I don't hate this, but I also don't love it. Sacking my commander for Dark Ritual. What does that accomplish? It can accomplish things. I really don't hate this card. I really don't hate it. As a matter of making room for it. Goblin Bombardment has not felt like the appropriate way to sack creatures. We're not playing Grave Pact or Meat Hook, which I would like to, but there's no room. I have to make room for stuff. It's hard to do that. It's really hard to do that. Grave Expectations probably shouldn't even be in here. I do like this card, though. I mean, it's kind of like the Black Ragavan, where you can randomly win for, like, no reason. You just randomly win. Let's not do that, though. We have Grenzo anyways. Yeah, let's just do Sacrifice. But I still wanted some kind of draw discard card. Preferably of the good variety. Seasoned Pyromancer is really strange, but I don't hate it. What about you? Can sack my commander? It's an opponent. You can't target yourself. This is an interesting card, though. I mean, I like what it's doing. I do like what it's doing, but it's weird. It's still really strange. Let's try it. It's fun. Oh, I have a special one? Oh, I have multiple. Look at that. Neat. Yeah, I don't like Goblin Bombardment that much. It works. It's just like a Johnny, you know, sacking your commander. But it just seems like one of the weaker avenues of doing that. Unless... I mean, there's a lot of good cards that are good against control if you can resolve them. Planeswalker has a lot of resilience. Especially two of them. Yeah, I just don't like Goblin Bombardment. I'm not sold on that. Does this tap for anything for any card? It does. It's not just creature spells. Okay. Slimefoot in Re. Maybe the Black Cavalier. I'm kind of little not on this one. Yeah, I'm not going to run the Black Cavalier. Okay. Is it uncounterable? The casualty copy? Does it just show up? What? Oh, it's just two spells in one. Okay. Brass's Tunnel? Why does that sound familiar? Putrid Goblin? Oh, yeah, that costs 4, doesn't it? Oh, wait, no, this is part of a combo. Yeah, I know that. It's like the Valakut thing, except it... Yeah. It turns my hand into something if it has nothing. Okay. I think Ashnod's Altar looks weird now. Arguably, so does Primeval Titan. And so still does bombardment. I'm taking bombardment out. I'm over it. Yeah, Jund Goblin combo is that stuff. I see that in Historic all the time. Historic Best of 1. Which doesn't do too well when you have Solemnity and Phyrexian Unlife. They can't kill you. Actually, they can't put counters on their creatures either. Alright, Reanimating Ox is interesting, but we're against Gadwick, and we're on the draw with no Cavernous Souls. Oh, they have Stern Scolding. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Does Pact the Negation? Possibler. Who knows? Who knows? Mana Drain I lose? Stealing my Birds of Paradise feels very incorrect. I don't know if I would do that. I would probably just counter Slimefoot instead. The mana could be interesting. What's the 5? There must be a plan here. At 5? I don't know what it is, though. Okay, what does that do? It drafts random things I'm not terribly concerned with. Alright. So, Faithless Looting. Get rid of Poop. Cast Mox. And probably just play Overlord as like the thing. Yeah, I don't really care what happens to this. And my opponent most likely doesn't either. Yeah, didn't think so. So I can get Ox out of my graveyard. Well, actually no, I can't. Okay, we have problems here, to say the least. I don't like my problems. I don't have an answer to them. So Ygra is not as good as Pak. We play things in power level order. Right? Yeah, that's what we do. All of those are very strange. All of these are also very strange. I guess I'll take the land. And we can play Ox, but I might as well just play this first. Because I'd just be losing it anyways. Okay, so I can cast Ox and I'd lose my entire graveyard. But my graveyard isn't really doing anything, so... What does memory do? Each player shuffles or... Okay, maybe... Maybe I'm not playing Ox. No, I am playing Ox. Can I play Ox? No, I can't. I cannot play Ox. I can't find a red source here. Alright. Mistakes. Is what it is, I guess. How does it... I changed the Twitch thing. I literally changed this twice. Like, I click that, click done, click save. Like, I did that already. Leave it to... Wait, what's happening? Oh, they played Winter Moon? Okay. I wasn't looking. What else happened? Was that it? Why are they all tapped out? What happened? Draw X, where X is the number... Okay. Okay. I drew Stone Cold Nothing. Not really blown away by that. Did my opponent shuffle? No, I shuffled with the fetch land. That's why this looks the way it does. Oh my goodness. Well, guess I wasn't destined to win this game. I don't even know what my else are now. Holy lands, what is going on? Do I swing with the Ox? No, I don't think so. Have we entered wasting our time status? I think we may have. Phyrexian Tower is in here. Reanimate. Well, we know that ain't gonna do much. So, oh, I don't get my Birds of Paradise pack. I thought I did. So, not sure there's much to do in this juncture? Cast my commander? Can I do it twice? No. Ulamog doesn't even really save me. Alright, cool. We, in fact, did enter wasting our time territory. Excellent. So far, I've been pretty unimpressed with this commander. It's extremely punishing if you are a if you're playing against stuff that's like pseudo jank. Vein Ripper seems exceedingly problematic for this deck. Do I play Gilded Goose? Yes? Is Vein Ripper lethal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? No, not quite. Is this the perfect 3 damage? Deal 3 to all creatures? Which I don't think I can afford to play around. Apparently not. No way. So, Vein Ripper Hardcast? I should do it. No, I want to do it now. I want to do it now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 14. They didn't hit anything. Post playing Sundering Titan. That's kind of nuts. Okay. I'm not convinced I have to leave back a blocker. I mean, I do have the Gilded Goose, technically. Although, swinging all out seems borderline pointless, actually. What am I doing? Yeah. I'm not... What are they going to do with that mana? They're not saving Chandra here. There's no way. Okay. So, we can play Ashnod's Altar. We can play Diabolic Intent. And then... Who knows what? So I have a ton of mana. I can just cast Ulamog. I don't know why that would ever be wrong. So let's do that. 1, 2... Wait, what? Oh, I have to do it... Oh, one at a time? Yikes. 2... 3... I don't even care about the One Ring. I'll just take out the, yeah. Actually, I can't target them with Vein Ripper, right? Because protection? Does this target? It does. Alright, so they don't actually lose any life. But I don't think Mono Red has any card that they could ever run that deals with this. There's like a couple colorless cards. They could run Ulamog of their own. But I don't think they're doing that, and... all we have to really do is swing like twice, and then they just run out of cards, and we don't need mana to do that. I could have genuinely waited a turn, though, and drained them for a bajillion. Not sure if it's ever necessary to do that, though. Like, this it still is here. It still has, basically, Shroud. They have no creatures. And hitting 2 mana sources here is kind of nice. This cost, what, 8 mana? So if I take out 2 lands, I don't even care about the One Ring. Yeah, I probably wouldn't exile the One Ring here. It can only draw 1 card, and they have to save themselves immediately. So yeah, I'm just hitting 2 lands. Okay. Chaos Warp? Oh yeah, all right, fair enough. Fair enough. I'm still kind of... I'm a little bit surprised that the reanimate targets are as unappealing as they have been. I find that surprising. So I think maybe... I mean, I looked at a bunch of lists and still found myself surprised at the options that are not played. I don't like Korvold. I don't think I like Hornet Queen. We're not a Tooth and Nail deck. Sylvan Primordial is very funny. That is a funny card. We could play Plague Crafter. I don't like Court of Calling. It's any color. It doesn't have to be a green creature, right? Yeah. Stacking Saprolings is interesting, but it's a lot of mana to get anything scary. Yeah, just the reanimate targets are like... I guess that's just the case. That's just the case. People don't have a ton of big things to reanimate in Jund in Historic. Though I am surprised at the lack of... Oh, we can play Snake Mommy. I forgot about the snake. Play Snake Mom. Oop. Oh, I have to change my filter. I forgot about Gravebreaker Lamia. I forgore. I love this card. I had this in... I have a foil one of these for Madroltha. On paper. I like that one a lot. Me likey. Yeah, Korvold is scary, and is arguably just better than Ygra. It's arguably better than Ygra. Doomsday? I don't own that one, do I? I think I know what you're talking about, though. Oh, I do own it. What? Why does this combo? Each player exiles all but the bottom 6. Combos with Altar of Dementia? Yeah, I mean, you could just cast it, then mill them. It is 6 black, and I can't just reanimate it, though, right? I have to cast it like Eldrazi. Yeah. I don't know, I have to cast that. Oh, okay, chat's saying that, yeah. Chat's already saying it. I have to cast it to kill. I don't know if that... It's not impossible. It could run more tutors. I just don't really like the... And also, without my... You know, Mesmeric Orb or Altar. Technically, both would probably constitute a combo. I'm not really excited about casting that. There's probably easier ways to combo and win, like reanimating Ulamog on turn 4. It's probably a better combo there, right? I do still want the other Ulamog in here. Oh, and Korvold. I guess at this point I might as well try. Oh, I don't own it. Oh my god, I've never played Korvold. Are you serious? I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second, actually. Let me look at my lists. Let me look the entire history of my internet presence. Or maybe not. The best time to lag. Really? Is it just not going to work? Alright, the website's not working. Alright, well. Wow. Nuts. It's very strange. Well, it's on the list. I'll put it on the list of things to play. It might be another year or two because I have to stockpile Final Fantasy. But that's actually quite mind-blowing. Yeah, okay. Even I thought I haven't played it. Look, instead of shaming me, you could just donate your currency so then I can just buy packs and get it. See? You can solve my problem. You can solve my problem, chat. Why are we staring? Why, I don't know why we're still staring at my deck. Let's actually play the deck. I'm being shamed by YouTube chat. Buried Alive? I I guess? Does that make sense? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It solves like one piece of the puzzle on its own. Yeah, we can run Buried Alive. It has been a long time since I've seen Balmore. I think I'm actually going to get rid of a land here. Yeah, we're getting rid of a land here. I'm going to cast Overlord. Although, I mean, it's blue-red this thing, so it probably doesn't actually mean anything. Yep, it's blue-red with the best possible card. Alright, I'm already over it. Pay me in audience numbers. Well, that is one way to do it, just a bit slower. Too poor to donate? So am I. I feel you. What would a combo be with Buried Alive? See, I just don't think Buried Alive solves our problems. But it probably doesn't make the deck worse. Wait a minute. Don't tell me. Okay, we're good. We're good. Everything's fine. Ashnod's Altar has been disappoint. I'm not taking out the snake. You can't make me. I could take out Cultivator, actually. I don't know why we're playing that instead of Rampant Growth. I mean, it's a creature, though. So it's probably just... Might as well play that instead of Rampant Growth. Liliana Last Hope can come out, actually. I get the minus mills and picks up a creature, but it's, like, kind of weird. It feels weird. Skirk Prospector, Sack Outlet, and then Pitiless Plunderer. Wait. Well, what's the... How do you... When you need, like, Blood Artist for that? Unless I don't... Well, it is Obeka. Okay, I don't have a good turn 1. I don't actually even have a appealing turn 2 either. It's not bad, though. I'm not gonna get a Surveil land here. Alright, well, this really needs to not die so I can play the game. That is not black mana. The heck does this do? Oof, if Ulamog wasn't in my hand would actually be really nice. So Dark Ritual is 5. And I can cast whatever I want. What is the best thing to cast right now? Probably Soviet Russia. Although this does give me a land if it dies, and that is actually very significant. I'm just... No. No. We're here for the Soviet Union. Let's share cards, opponent. Let us share cards. Oh, this is excellent. This is excellent. Oh, this is amazing. Alright. Yeah, that was definitely the right choice. You may discard, so I can play this first, and then they can't do it. Because then I just get a thing. Wait, did they do it? Oh, it's not what I thought it... Okay, never mind. It didn't work the way I thought it did. Party Thrasher? I thought it was card draw. Crucius is great, but so is Thoughtseize. I feel like Thoughtseize is better here. Yeah. We're like kind of cyberbullying this person. Emperor of Bones. Well, that stops my whole game plan, so... Mythweaver Pock or this thing? O'Hare is just very annoying. Let's play that. I mean, I'm taking the Bowmasters anyways, I think. This is all just pretty scary to play against, I think. Alright, they kill my 2-2, so they're not scared of Bowmasters. But it's not getting easier. It's not getting easier for my opponent. That's probably... Well, we can start with this attack, actually. Wow, they just took it? Bro, I'm not just taking that. You're crazy. Maybe you just have to. Maybe you just have to. Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, we... Yeah. Well, Slimefoot didn't do much, but oh my goodness. You know, maybe we should try playing this again. Is this tier 1 still? I got nerfed so hard. I wonder if it is in tier 1. I really think this card is... I'm actually... Because, like... I'm actually thinking this might just be almost as good as it was, just because most decks kind of do the 1-2-3 thing, like the high power. Most decks are like 60% 3 and down, right? Like the first 3 turns are so colossal in this format that playing big things isn't that great. And you can just take big things anyways. I think this is still just nuts. This is mattering less and less to me. That 3 claws there. What did that game make me think about? Nothing. Alright. We don't have a good cultivator. This is very slow. If my opponent is not slow, we probably just lose. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Alright, that makes me really like my keep. That's for sure. I really like my keep now. Drew a good card, and it's another decent card. It's not amazing, but it is a card with text on it. Though I'm sure someone out there would say that was a wrong idea. And who knows, maybe they're right. Oh, don't also have a Minotaur, come on. Don't you dare. Alright. Runner for lands off the top, as is tradition with Glarb. Opponent has 1 blue mana. I think I cast Cultivator, so I should cast this first. Right? There's only 1 blue mana. And I need green, which is kind of annoying, but not that bad. I mean, this finds another color, so it's fine. Grave Expectations. Okay. You got it. Interesting. I'm going to change phases before I cast this card here. Let's get a black or a red. Probably a black. Okay. I'd be a bit surprised if they cast Glarb again. Alright, I lost my Grenzo, but we get a Volt... Oh, never mind. Wow. They actually took the card I could not cast. That is funny. They left me with Grenzo. I feel like that's insane. Alright. Knight's Whisper. Omniscience is funny. I can't really use it, though. We'll just take the Knight's Whisper. A little bit low powered, but, you know, can't always win the game. Alcatraz. Alright, well, Defense of the Heart is a thing, and Overlord is unstoppable, so they will get Defense of the Heart here. Can't do anything about it. Which does incentivize my opponent to not deal with my board. But they can easily just take 8, so they probably don't care about my board. I'm not worried about my opponent having Omniscience. If they get to Omniscience mana, I think the game's already done. Not worried about that. Alright, so I can tutor up. I don't have Casualties of War in here. I'm not really sure what I can find. But we're going to find out. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 8 mana. And I believe there is stone cold no answer to that enchantment in my deck. Which is really bad. And also a bit disappointing. Yeah, if we had Casualties, we would win right here, but we don't. So, I could just take Ulamog. Wait, Cityscape Leveler. Chat. Why don't you say things to me? Why do I have to find them out on my own? Why do you do this to me? Yeah, I'm always blowing that up. There's no way I'm not. Now, I am also going to swing so they don't untap with Glarb. I've gotten enough Grenzo value. I don't want them to untap with Glarb. I'm not scared of their hand, and this sets them back an insane amount, so... And I can always get Grenzo back later. It's not like Slimefoot's not there. I do like Binding. I don't think Terra Sunder is that universal, but yeah, it's alright. I could be running Besage You as well. Should just slide that in for free, essentially. What does this do? Destroy all creatures, exile, so they can exile something. Looks like they immediately exiled Cityscape Leveler and not Grenzo, which I can immediately reanimate with the Liliana Minus. And I think I will. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. They have 2 cards. If I draw a discard spell, I guess I'd just plus Liliana and mess up the Assemble. It sucks to minus myself, but that has to be right, I think. Although, no, there's arguably nothing I could do that's better than this. I mean, even taking Vaultborn Tyrant would be ideal, but this is just way too good. Treasure Cruise, Brain Surge. Yeah, I like Treasure Cruise here. Can I cast it? I can. So, 1, 2... Okay. Alright. They can't put anything good in hand, because I'll just get rid of it with Liliana. This is the first time I've ever seen Runescarred Demon. That is notable. Alright, what did my opponent put in their hand? Let's see if they made a grave mistake. They did. Alright, so they put something in their hand that immediately they lost. Dark Ritual. Primeval Titan. Yep, that was a massive mistake from the opponent. They wanted to put something with like flashback or whatever. I don't know how they would have forgotten this. It's been in play forever. But, whoops, that was a massive mistake. So it does look like some kind of Sultai combo deck. Glarb is very odd for that, though, in my opinion. Yeah, that's very strange. And so is this. This is a strange card to see in some kind of combo deck. And actually, so is this. Whenever you lose life, draw that many cards. Well, alright. Yeah. Looks like Omniscience was something my opponent was really trying to play towards. Oh well. Sweet. Yeah, it's like the Gladiator Precon, but with Glarb instead of the Snow Commander. That I think is better. You just untap your lands. Although Glarb does set up off the top, which my opponent appeared to have vested interest in doing. Alright, so of all the interaction to have, Casualties of War is kind of the interesting one. I mean, Binding and Tear Asunder, we already talked about interaction. Though, to be fair, this Cultivator has been lame. So is Alcatraz. Alcatraz has been lame. I can't take out the Snake Mom. I just can't do it. I'm sorry, I just can't. I almost like Binding more than Casualties, because we are not super consistently getting to 6 mana. And I said Besage You instead of a Forest. It's been a while since I actually played Besage You, I feel. Yeah, definitely Emergent Ultimatum. Which they didn't put to their hand with Runescarred Demon. Maybe they took Gristlebrand just so they could reanimate it, if that was the next draw. I'm just surprised they had absolutely no... nothing to cast out of graveyard. No flashback spell at all. Is kind of crazy to me. Like, even just get Uro, right? Like, you don't have Uro? Very strange. Very strange. Alright, so can we win with just simply casting cards here? And not, like... I don't know, can we? Probably. We do have Ulamog in our deck. This is an interesting one. I feel like I can win with a bunch of, like, exiles on permanents and stuff. course I'm on the... I feel like I'm always on the draw against this deck. It's like Wizards knows it needs every advantage it can get. Oh, that figures. Of course. Of course. So... these two? And I can race to Final Parting Griselbrand? Wait a minute, I have Final Parting Griselbrand next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4... I do. Final Parting Reanimate Griselbrand. No way. Probably Sithis. Yeah, it's probably Sithis. Unless you don't want to be in tier 1, then maybe Calyx. The Planeswalker Calyx. Unless that's also in tier 1, then I've ran out of advice. Stomping Ground. Wait, I need more black mana. That's... Wait a minute. Do I? No, I do not. I technically don't, so let's get a red-based land. And then we tap here, here, Final Parting. How much mana does my opponent have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so we lose Griselbrand after. We could just get Atali. Maybe that's actually just better. Okay. I mean, it has a chance of being better. It also has a chance of being worse. This feels probably like the best idea. It was worse than Griselbrand. Yay! Isn't that so fun? Alright, well, that was a waste. Valgavoth? Wouldn't they just... Is Valgavoth non-land? That isn't exactly 2 colors? Okay. I guess I can exile Ujin. Not the most exciting thing to do, but I can do it. Is it 3 non-lands, though? Three non-lands, and then it would have been correct. It would have been correct. Okay, well, Cityscape Leveler is a pain to deal with. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm going to blow up the mana source here. And I'm going to play this. Yeah, that probably would have been right. Do you have perfect Ulamog? Oh, we don't. No way. What does this flip into? Weirdness. Okay. Yep. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Right off the top. Oh, I guess I technically do not own that. So Ob Nixilis doesn't look like it's particularly useful. I don't want to sack a colored permanent. Of course, I completely whiff on this. Yep. It's only the correct outcome. What does casting my commander do? Stone cold nothing. Karn is interesting, yeah. That's an interesting idea. How much you want to bet this will kill me if I say mill for the very first time? How much you want to bet? Wow, I didn't die. No way. Alright, so double swing here. Blow up that thing.
How much does this thing cost now? 13? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I can't cast my commander without a way to sack it. I'll hold the Mox Amber. I believe there are no fundamental reasons to discard it, so... Or, play it. We can take a max of 7 damage currently, and then 8, 9, 10 with Manifold Key. So technically, we can die here. Opponent doesn't go that route. They untap a Mana Rock. Kind of random. They did not attack me. I have to let them draw off of this Palantir. I can't not do that, so... Cityscape Leveler doesn't kill both things. Yeah, I just have to let them draw. That's an interesting one. I can sack my commander to it as well. I can get Casualties of War, but then I probably can't cast it. Then I probably just can't cast it, so I don't really like that. Okay, well, they didn't have to do this. They could have just not done that. Take action? Yep. So... Swing at face, blow up Ujin. I don't believe I'm ever Diabolic Intenting anything in play. Okay. Okay. They did not turn Ironcrag into a problem. One has our own Cityscape Leveler, so that's probably just game. Fun. Very fun. Alright, well, we punted. Valgavoth probably would have won the game if I just got that. That's honestly not 100% true, though. They would just wait a turn, take 9, and then exile it, and I'm back to losing. But, Atali completely and utterly whiffed, to the surprise of nobody. Opponent has infinite giant things in their deck. Nope. Not allowed to have any. Not us. Not us. We are not allowed to have any. Why would we? Sire is a good mill. I think. Land is a good card. Let's just cast Flare. Or not. Land is fine. Yep. What the heck is this? That's complete nonsense, but alright, you got it. Opponent would have had no lands in hand if I didn't cast Flare, by the way, so... Of course, right? Figures. Let's cast Buried Alive? No, that doesn't make sense. Now let's cast Buried Alive. So we do not want to draw for any reason that thing. This is good in the graveyard. And I also just put Ox back. Yeah, just bin the Ox. Well, that's not what I wanted to draw. So just cast this and then Ox, because my hand is kind of bad. Yeah, my hand doesn't really do anything, so... Decline... So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not enough. So cast this thing. Alright, Mana Drain. Very fun. What a great card. I'm glad it's in the game. Oh, somebody has Pact of Negation in their hand. Oh boy. No way. The heck is that? Milik 3 cards, there's no cards in it. Okay. One, two, three. So I can cast Final Parting. So I will. What do we want in the graveyard this time? Valgavoth this early is basically impossible to interact with. You know what we could just do, actually, is get Buried Alive and reanimate. Oh, wait a minute. Chat. I made a mistake. I thought they both go to my hand. Whoa. Alright. Alright. Clearly I'm exhausted. Clearly I'm in deep emotional distress. I forgot how my cards work. I forgot how my cards work, chat. I'm sorry. Alright, well, fortunately, we were just never punished. I'm gonna take a Tali, not Brooding Spaghetti Lord. Alright, never punished. Never ever punished. Phew. Well, with Final Parting, I just want Reanimate and an actual thing to reanimate. Yeah, we're just never getting to Casualties of War. We're just never getting to Casualties of War. I think I'm done. I think I'm just done. I don't know. That last game. I just messed up the Final Parting, I think. I think I was getting tired, so... I don't know. What, I mean, I guess I could do that. I don't know, I think just reanimating is better. It's not like my opponent doesn't have mana. They had Pact of Negation for next turn. Assuming they played a land, they would have Pact of Negation because they have 5 mana. So I don't... I think just going for reanimate's totally fine. Especially if it's like the cheapest way to interact with Pact. Like, Pact of Negating a 1-mana card is, always feels bad. Yeah, I think I'm always just getting that. In that spot. Because they're going to counter, like, my... They're probably going to counter whatever I do, so... I wouldn't say there were any bad cards. Like, what was the worst thing we were doing? No, I don't think there was anything particularly terrible in here. I even like the Ox. What's the other? Oh, Bedlam Reveler, right? Can't really play that one though. Actually, I really like that Ox. Okay, yeah, I'm done. Alright, so this is very scary when your opponent doesn't interact with you, right? It doesn't take very long to do what you want to do. There doesn't, it did not feel at least that I needed a bajillion ways to consistently sacrifice my commander. And when you don't do that, it's nice to have ramp spells, even the treasure based card stuff like all the things that discard cards and make treasures, whatever. I can't think of a single one, but there's like 4 or 5 of them. You could do those, discard a big creature, you get treasure tokens, you draw more cards, you can find ramp spells, other big things to actually cast. But for sack outlets, wasn't really something I felt like I wanted, right? Especially when, if your commander can't resolve or whatever, you just have these completely dead cards in your hand that don't work without your commander. And those cards you want the least amount of, so you can function when your commander is dealt with, unless you don't care and you just concede when they mana leak your Slimefoot. I will say, today specifically, this happens on randomness of whatever, but I ran into like every other deck having mana drain. That happened a lot. And I had a lot of people that ran out of gas and then top decked like Farewell. So I I really got the short end of the stick here in terms of just RNG outcome, but I don't want to press on that too much because it's a card game. It's random enough already. But we did get a little notably unlucky playing a lot of the games we played today with Slimefoot, which is unfortunate because it's going to bring out the me complaining part of playing Magic instead of actually trying to play Magic, so that's unfortunate. But outside of that, the other 50% of the games we played, not getting stopped dead in their tracks by mana drain, when your opponent interacts with you, you are kind of like that dude who crossed the Twin Towers with the on the stick or whatever with the rope. Like they just smack one side of that stick, you're tumbling to your death. You are really dancing on a thin line to get this to work when you're really focused on your graveyard having a creature to reanimate. You need a Saproling, so if your opponent sweeps the board, you have to put this back to the command zone because you don't have a Saproling. And I really ill-advise playing cards that create Saprolings. I think there's one like fungal infection just because you can kill Manadorks. If it wasn't for that, and Ragavan, I guess. If it wasn't for that, then I wouldn't play this. And it's really the only one here. There might be more that I don't own. That, yeah, no, it's not even worth looking at them. It's just this, right? Like, if you're gonna run any, it's just this one. If we had Sprout Swarm in Magic Arena, Sprout Swarm could be reasonable as well, but we don't have Sprout Swarm. So it's just fungal infection, and I don't think in any game I lost or won, fungal infection Saproling token was going to change anything. Yeah, Tender Shroot Dryad is interesting. It's kind of like mid-range beatdown. It can produce scary Saprolings. I would say there's a fair amount of decks that would not like to play against it, so they could be poised to killing it, but there are a ton of ways to circumvent what that card is doing. But yeah, if that's something you liked, I like that card. I like Tender Shroot Dryad, but good luck. Good luck with that. So outside of that, the discarding creatures, or just putting creatures in my graveyard, was not difficult. I actually went a long chunk of this play session without Buried Alive, so that was another one I could have been running earlier. Forgot it existed, not gonna lie. But yeah, putting creatures in the graveyard was not really too difficult at all. And that means I really do not like milling myself. Cards that just do that are not really giving you, like, it's just not, it gets in the way of trying to like cast this and then swing with it and sack it and then reanimate something. Like, the chance of mill also completely whiffing, I don't know, it just didn't seem necessary. It wasn't necessary, and I think it's the weakest form of putting creatures in the graveyard, self mill. So aside from Mesmeric Orb, I think, in Altar of Dementia, because this mills while also sacking your commander, so this is excellent. But outside of those, like, I don't think. And when it came to actually sacrificing my commander, this is one of, I think, 2 or 3 commanders in the game your opponent never wants to actually like leave play. And there's a ton of opponents, a ton of people we played against today that, like, upon the first chance they could get, just decided to kill this, and that's like just set it up for us. You can also simply let it sit there and block, and then your opponent can never swing into it, because if you have a creature that's scary, they don't want it to die. So I wasn't really concerned with the lack of ways of sacking Slimefoot. I really wasn't. I saw no graveyard hate, I don't think. I mean, there was like incidental exile and stuff like Farewell, but I didn't see like Ghost, Vacuum, or Relic, or Progenitus, or anything like that. I did see the Heist spell, but everyone just heists your face with it. They don't exile 3 cards out of your graveyard, but, you know, that is a card that I expect a lot of black decks to actually play, and it does have a second side of exiling, you know, 3 cards or whatever. It's a bit random, very random, but it does do that, you know. And I again expect to see this a lot in anything that has black in it. So that's one of those main deck cards that is at the detriment of this commander. So yeah, Malevolent Rumble could have been nice too. Same with Satyr Wayfinder. We were playing Grizzly Salvage, but Grizzly Salvage, in my opinion, was one of the weakest cards in the deck. So I would rather it be Rampant Growth. I would rather it be kind of anything like Rampant Growth. I wasn't sold on that kind of effect. I really wasn't. Brass Tunnel was nice. The Faithless Looting, right? Just getting rid of things that are already in hand and stuff. It's not like these are bad. I wouldn't say it's bad. It was one of the weakest cards in my deck. It really was. Every time I cast it, it was kind of disappointing. So it's a Singleton 100 format, Singleton 100 card format. So it's hard to, you know, expect what you want to have happen consistently when what you want to have happen is like 3 different things, right? This in the graveyard, while also leaving behind Saprolings that have to be in play, while also having things in the graveyard to reanimate, and then you have to have the mana to reanimate, and you also have to do all of this before your opponent has Mana Drain, which is obviously impossible outside of Cavern of Souls. So, actually, I don't know if I was running Cavern. Was I? I was running Cavern, okay. This being uncounterable is decent, but it was nice that if it did get countered, I had other things to do, like simply play Jund mid-range stuff and then eventually cast big things without reanimating it. So I did like that approach, and I would like that. I think that's better than just going completely all in on this. I think going all in on this is a mistake, actually. I think it would hinder your win rate. I really believe that. So I don't know if this is one of those has multiple ways of playing it and both are viable or all are viable. I think something of the sort of what we were doing was probably the best, with, again, probably more draw, discard, treasure cards. Felt like maybe would have been the best, like Big Score, stuff like this is Seeds the Spoils. I think these are completely fine in this deck here, and probably better than some of the cards we had. Like, Binding is nice, but I wasn't running Interaction for a while because it's hard to weave that in while also trying to do anything. But if we're more in on the Jund mid-range side of things, then this is definitely more reasonable. It just feels odd to not be able to get away with Casualties of War specifically, right? Like, I think that's one of those cards you look at it and you're like, all right, can I run this card? Yes. Great. Can I run this card? No. Why is that? This is one of those commanders that is strange because I think Casualties of War, for the most part, can go into a lot of decks like this one. And I think not running this means there could just be something slightly off about this list that might want to get looked into. But I guess the last thing I'll say is the reanimate targets themselves were not too crazy, which is a bit disappointing. I was even looking at other lists online, and I found a lot of lists that didn't have anything that I didn't. That like it just seemed weird. That I thought there were way scarier things to do with this, but there's not, in my opinion at least, after having looked at basically everything. I'm not saying I ran the best of the best, but I don't know. I was a bit underwhelmed with the things I'm actually reanimating. That is to say, I think the other Ulamog should have probably been in here. I don't know how it would work, but I think it would. I think it would work, the other Ulamog. The new Lamog, because this one's actually not the first one. If we had the originals, I would be happy, but those, I think, shuffle in so you can't work them with this. So they wouldn't work, but outside of this commander, I would like the old ones. But Annihilator is... Oof, man, Annihilator feels real bad. Same reason Cyclonic Rift feels bad, right? So more of that, probably not the best idea. Grenzo, though. This card does not even really feel like it got nerfed. I kind of want to play this commander again. I don't know if it's still trapped in Tier 1. I have not played against it since it got nerfed. So maybe everyone ever is just not on this commander now. But most decks in Historic Brawl, they're slowly converging to nothing more than 3 mana. So I think this is just excellent. And it's not like you can't cast a big spell. If you got this in play, you have 6 mana. So you can just steal 6 mana cards and not feel bad about it. I don't know. I think this nerf is going to matter less and less with time. So it felt like Grenzo was one of the better things to reanimate. Honestly, it really was. It doesn't have any evasion, though, like Ulamog. It's not indestructible or whatnot. But it at least gets immediate value. Same with, like, Atali. Atali is very random, and I will say Atali kind of let me down. But, you know, Atali's still Atali. Alright, that's all I've got. So, let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Also, hello, Mellow MD. And also...